Welcome to a practice round out at Adair Park. I've got a tournament there at the end of the month, and so I'm out here trying to figure out what I'm throwing off the tee on each of the holes. First up, we've got par 3, 190 feet. Hole 1, slightly uphill. Threw my bounty out first, found out it's too much disc, so I went down to try my tomb. Felt okay, but wanted to give another disc a try. Gatekeeper's one of my favorites. Got there inside of circle 1. That's definitely going to be play for hole 1. Over to hole 2, we go back down the hill. You've got OB Road. It's 215. Grab my Gatekeeper again. Went a little bit long, but definitely within a look for birdie. You do have trees there on the right-hand side within the circle, so you don't want to get stuck in there. It is kind of a jail cell. Threw out my Berg, wanted something a little bit slower, didn't get the turn on it that I wanted, and it doesn't quite go out of bounds, sits down nicely, but in circle 2. This next line I've thrown before, threw my suspect over on a big sky hyzer. A lot of the time you can have it sit through the trees and have it inside the circle look. Did not like how I threw that one, and it ended up going OB left. Hole number 3 here, 200 feet, kind of like a little S. You got to hit this gap, and then it's going to be over to the left through the trees. You can kind of see the basket there. First threw out my Crave, went inside, Bear, went inside. Those are common mistakes for me, which I don't want to do on this hole. It's pretty much jail over there. Went with some more speed, grabbed my Rive, and was able to get it out into the clearing. Had an upshot for par there. Here is one of the marquee holes on the course, hole 4, throwing downhill. You do have OB right in this field, and so I like throwing things overstable to make sure I don't have to worry about that. This one plays, it's marked around 300 feet, definitely plays a little bit longer. I ended up throwing, I think, 5 different discs here, and I was short on almost all of them. But truthfully, for this hole, I think I'm playing it for par. I think there's too much risk involved going for the pin. So anything over on that left-hand side, I should be able to get up and down for an easy par. This is definitely one you'll be able to see when I do my practice shots from the drop zone. There was a right to left wind as soon as you get out of the clearing, which were carrying my discs farther left than I would like. Definitely going to be something that I'm going to have to pay attention to come tournament time. What I was happy about is I didn't throw a single shot OB, which is very good. Wind definitely helped with that, but I definitely don't want to have to deal with that during the tournament round. So here's the drop zone. It's about 150 feet out. Grab my tomb here. You're really going to be able to see that wind kind of carry it over to the left-hand side. Went back and grabbed my Berg, and that was able to sit down a little bit nicer. Ended up within 10-15 feet for a nice little putt there. I feel confident from that spot. Hopefully I don't have to use it, but it's nice to practice. Hole number 5, we've got a long 380-foot hole. Right-hand side is marshy, but there is OB Road left, so I like to favor that right-hand side. Threw out my sail, flipped it over, definitely outside of circle 2, but has a nice easy upshot. The basket sits there on that ridge in the middle, so you do have a kind of uphill putt basically wherever you land. Threw out my Vortex, ended up going OB Road, finished too far left. This wind was an issue for me, and something I'm going to have to adjust on the day depending on which way it's blowing. I wanted to try throwing my Felons out on a Anheuser release to see if I could get it to kind of S-curve instead of just having my sail, which turned all the way over. This Felon did exactly what I was looking for, was able to push it over to the right, came down, sat down within a circle 2 look, maybe just outside circle 2, but definitely one that I'm playing for par. Hole number 6, just under 200 feet, depending on where the basket placement is. And the goal is to get into the woods. There's a left gap and a right gap. And as soon as you get through this wall, it does open up. So as long as you get inside, you're fine. Hex to the right-hand side, went my gatekeeper and was able to squeak something up through the middle. There is enough gap there that you can just kind of pray and see if you can't make it through. Both of those made it through. Happy with that. Hole number 7 here, we've got 210 feet. The basket for the basket is currently placed kind of straight to the right. So you do have to kind of have something stand up and fade. And turn over and slide to the right-hand side. So that first was my bounty, hit the one tree in the middle of the fairway, had a kick, fell in the middle of the fairway, can get up and down from there. The archer was able to flip up and turn over to the right. That I had an outside look for birdie. Had a couple of trees in my way, but definitely a look. Lastly, I threw my Genius, which is a super flippy disc, and liked how it was flying, but caught the left side of a tree, and I threw it way too high, carried far, far left, past the basket even, and I was in jail. So definitely too much disc for the hole. Probably going to throw my archer or my bounty, depending on how I feel. Hole number 8 here, we do have a doozy. On the right-hand side, you have about a 15-foot drop into some water, so you definitely want to stay left. Basket, luckily, is in the back left position. I do have a kind of a tight inside line that I prefer going, and you'll see that here with the bear and my beat-in felon. I want to throw just inside of those 2 trees. It keeps me super safe and gives me a circle 2 look for the birdie. Or a super easy up and down for par if I want to go that route. Here I grab my more stable felon, and I'm going to do kind of a high spiking hyzer line, pushing it out over the road. Over the water a little bit, but will crash down. Definitely not a throw I'm super consistent with, but I can hit it. This one is definitely going to come down to am I feeling confident in my throw? That one I had a birdie look. Hole number 9 here is about 250 feet. First up, bounty, came out early, kicked into the fairway, should be able to get up and down. Throwing this bounty is my safe throw for 90% of these holes. It's a disc that I know exactly what it's going to do, and I'm going to be able to stay in the fairway with it. Next up, this is my archer. I got a good rip on this, and it flew right over the basket and into some weeds. You can see I'm a little upset because I did not expect to get a full rip on it. It's still a disc that I'm learning, but I really do enjoy it, and probably not going to be the play here. I grab my tomb, disc down just a tad bit, get it into circle 2. That's probably going to be the safest play for me here. That or this next throw, I grab my inner core, slow it down even more. This left me short, but within circle, on that circle 1, circle 2 edge. Most of these holes I am playing for par. I do think that going out and getting even or even -1, -2 puts me in a position to podium for this tournament in MA2. So playing safe is going to be the name of the game. This is me trying to climb up and get the archer that I overthrew the basket. You can see you do not want to be up there, especially come tournament time.
And that does it for the front 9.